All right, guys, so right now we got some possibly pointless, but very interesting, at least to me, math related to the Soul Chase tournament. So when we're doing it, I was gonna go in and do the percentages like, hey, how many shards are you gonna need to pull to actually get the required points, whether it's mortal, immortal, or eternal. Well, there is a lot of different point breakdowns. So all this stuff, plus the percentages of the actual Altar of Souls, honestly, it was something I did not wanna dive into, but thankfully, we have Mr. Inman from the YouTube channel provided me this Google Sheet right here, which he went ahead and did all the math for me as far as the actual expected points per shard. Now remember, this is all percentages, okay? This is just your chance to get the stuff. It's not gonna be exact. It's just gonna be based on the math. This is the average points you're gonna get per shard you pull. Obviously, some people can get lucky, some people can get unlucky, so it's gonna be a massive variance, but ultimately this should be on average what you could expect. So what I wanted to do is actually see how I performed. Now, my shards I pulled 76 mortals, I pulled 1 immortal, and 1 eternal. I went over here to the Aftershock website, plugged that into the offer calculator, and scrolled up to the very top to see the actual price if this was offered as a pack. Now, this is Chosen's website, well, Chosen and the Aftershock team. Their website, this is the offer calculator from there. So all the numbers we use today as far as the values will be based off of this offer calculator. So if you have any disputes with the prices, you can just adjust it, but this is just for, I guess, theoretical sake. Either way, I found it interesting. So this is the price that I would have paid. I wouldn't have actually paid this, but this is the price it estimates for a pack with these shards. That would have been $111, okay? Well, from the math that I did, on average, immortals, mortals, whatever it may be, is going to be 7.1 points on average per dollar spent. So if we take $111 times that by 7.1, the average points per dollar, you're going to get 788 expected points to be earned from this champion Soul Chase tournament. Well, I earned 932. So I'm a little bit above the actual expected average, actually a decent amount above that. So obviously I already knew I had good luck, but basically I wanted to test to see, hey, how accurate is this math? I knew I had good luck. This proves I had good luck. There we go. Well, past that, let's see how your luck may be. So what kind of math can you guys use to figure out, are you lucky? Are you unlucky? Besides just looking at your pulls. Honestly, you can probably look at your pulls and say, hey, I'm unlucky, lucky, or better yet, how much am I gonna have to save to actually get these events maxed out? So these are the numbers we're gonna be working off of. The average point per Soulstone, bringing off of Mr. Inman's sheet right here, is gonna be 6.7 points per mortal Soulstone, 40.66, I did do some rounding, on immortal Soulstones, and then 246.4 for eternal Soulstones, which are the big boys, right? The big Soulstones that I did not buy. So points per dollar spent. This translates it to English basically for me, makes it a lot more comprehensible. So points per dollar spent for mortal Soulstones is gonna be 6.7. The dollar value is solely based off of this. I know there's better deals. There's deals where it's like 50 cents per mortal Soulstone. Obviously that's gonna change the value, but I want to keep this consistent, so we're gonna use these values, okay? Mortal Soulstone valued at $1, Immortal Soulstone valued at $7, and Eternal Soulstone valued at $28. So with those numbers, we're gonna scroll down and see the Immortal Soulstone, $7 for 40.7 points, or 5.8 points per dollar spent, meaning that you're getting less essentially per dollar spent from Immortal Soulstones than you are from Mortal Soulstones, which is kind of surprising in a way. Which, like I said, if my math is wrong at all, you guys let me know. But yeah, you're getting less points per dollar spent there. Now scroll down a little bit more to the Eternal Soulstones. You're gonna get 246 points basically per $28 spent, which is gonna be 8.8 points per dollar spent, which is gonna be more than the Mortal Soulstones. Eternal Soulstones are very difficult to get though. We all know that. So just from these numbers right here, this is what you're looking at. Mortal, 6.7 points per dollar spent. Immortal, 5.8 points per dollar spent. And Eternal is 8.8 points per dollar spent. So honestly, Mortal Soulstones seem like the best bang for your buck, especially since you can get those a lot of times for like 50 cents, sometimes even less. I don't know what the good deal for Immortal Soulstones are because honestly, they're often tied to packs that are already like 50, 60 bucks or more. I haven't seen very many good deals. They're also low in price. Whereas Mortal Soulstones, I've seen, say, 50 stones for like $25. I've seen that kind of breakdown. Obviously, $50 is easier to justify, or even $25 versus $75 or $100. At least for me and my idea, I think most people like lower priced packs versus getting hit with a $100 pack and having to justify that. which is crazy, entire different thing, okay? So adding these things up, adding the 8.8, 5.8, and then 6.7, dividing that by 3 is gonna give me the average points per dollar, which is 7.1, the number that I use to actually get the determination if I was lucky or if I was unlucky. So with that said, I took this 1,500 points up here. Hopefully you guys are all following along. I tried to dumb this down to my level, so hopefully this is good for all of you all as well. But basically, if you're doing 1,500 points required to get this sacred shard, that's gonna be an average of $211 spent based on the average rates plus the cost of the stones, 211.27. How I did that was basically 1,500 divided by 7.1, which is the average points per dollar spent, is going to be $211, 0.26, rounded up to 0.27. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. $211, let's say $215, right? Nobody's going to do $211. So $215, you give this a Plarium, you're getting a decent amount of new souls. You're getting a sacred shard, 2 legendary books, a void shard. Let's go ahead and put this in here as well, okay? So we'll put the let's see, sacred shard, the void shard, the 2 legendary books, an epic tome, 2 legendary books, an epic tome, 100 gems, 200 energy, and actually no, 100 gems, 200 energy. So 100 gems and 200 energy, I believe. I think I got everything right. So sacred, 2 legendaries, void, epic, 100 gems, and 200 energy. Assuming you don't win first place, you're spending $200. Obviously, you're getting souls as well for a side reward value of $38.55. $38.55. That's okay, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I'm not spending $211 for this. Instead, I'm going to take some free-to-play approaches, which is what I did today. The souls that I opened today, 0 were purchased. I got the Eternal Soulstone from the Path of Light event, which was right here. I did a ton of champion training for the Tatsu event, so that typically wouldn't happen. So thankfully, I did get that. I saved it. Boom. Got that done. I had the 76 Mortal Soulstones from some Iron Twins work and a lot of Hydra stuff. And then I had the 1 Immortal Soulstone. Honestly, I don't know where it was from. I think it may have been from some random event, but I did have the Immortal Soulstone. I don't buy any stones whatsoever here, okay? I think it's just a bad deal. I think it's good for RNG and it could be beneficial for you, but in general, I like to be more consistent and more calculated, so I prefer buying the Immortal Essence and the Eternal Essence and waiting for champions that I really want to actually pop up in the shop. That's just my approach, but either way, I want to break down a little bit further. So I want to see how long you would be expected to farm for these events, saving all your resources to actually finish the 1,500 points. Now, one thing to keep in mind, Mortal Soulstones have a massive range from 1 point all the way up to like 1,000 points, I believe, okay? So there's a massive, massive range in what you could actually get. But just going off these averages, this is how long it's gonna take. So let's say you get 10 a week from Hydra. This is assuming that your clan is doing Nightmare, Brutal, and Hard each week. You're getting the top chest, and you're getting 2 of those chests. I just made a rough estimate, said, hey, you get 2 each chest on Nightmare, so it's gonna be 4. You get, I think, 2 and then 1, so 3 total, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 9, 10 from Hard, okay? So I try to just do like a kind of soft average, basically, just an idea. So 10 per week from Hydra. It's not exact math, of course, but hey, you get 10 per week from Hydra, just as an example. And then you're farming Iron Twins like every day. You're getting 5 per week from Iron Twin. This could be more, this could be less, of course, but these numbers lined up pretty close to what I've noticed in my account. So 5 per week from Iron Twins, assuming you're doing that all the time, you're gonna be at 15 total per week or 60 per month. Now, I know I've saved for about 2 months. I don't do Iron Twins every day, and you may not need to do Iron Twins every day either. Maybe you get 5 early in the week. You don't need to do it anymore. Maybe you get 5 later. But just for the example here, 15 per week or a total of 60 Mortal Soulstones per month. How long is it gonna take you to have enough to actually finish the 1,500 point events? Well, let's go ahead and do this. So if you need 1,500 points, so if you're doing Mortal Soulstones alone, which is all we're doing the math based off of from Hydra and Iron Twins, you're gonna have 1,500 points divided by 6.7, okay? So, which is the points per Mortal Soulstone summoned on average. So 1,500 divided by 6.7 is gonna be a total of 223, call it 225 Mortal Soulstones. 225 Mortal Soulstones, or in other words, let's say 225 divided by 60, it's gonna be 3.75, about 4 months, because you're getting it 60 per month. Now, obviously, I almost maxed this vent out. I had 76 mortals, 1 eternal, and 1 immortal. So you could be on the very bad side of RNG, need even more shards than this, or the very good side of RNG and need far less than this, okay? Obviously, the whole points of this is extremely, extremely RNG heavy. You can just see it when you go in here and click. I mean, the tournament section, okay? You can see in the Soul Chase tournament, the things that can come from Mortal Soulstones, anything can, okay? You have a 1-star rare to give you 1 point, or a 6-star legendary to give you 1,000 points. Well, you come over here to the Altar of Souls, Mortal Soulstone, you can get a 6-star legendary champion. 6% chance to get a legendary, 0.5% chance to get a 6-star, but it's possible. It's also possible we can get 1 point. So to be honest, all of this math, the reason why I say it's kind of for the fun of it, is because while this is the average, there is such a massive difference between the low end and the high end that I'm not sure how valuable this even is. To be honest, I mean, 225 shards could be 225 points, or it could be 225,000 points. I mean, literally here, times 1,000, it's not going to be that. Actually, times 1,000, 225,000. Obviously, nobody's going to do that. But just for an example, you could get literally 225 points or 225,000. It's obviously a massive, massive, massive difference between those. But I did think this was interesting. And it is something I want to see, like how many Mortal Soulstones and stones in general do I get on average? Like, I am going to pay better attention to that. This video, as of June 28th, I have no Soulstones. So that's going to be a decent track. Maybe for the next event, I can see how many I actually have. I can actually buy 1, almost 2 right now. No real reason to buy them. I'm going to save them for these champion soul summoning events. As far as like boosted events, it's kind of split, because before with these Soulstones, we would open them whenever, okay? We wouldn't get any other reward past the souls that we got from the shard. Well, now we're opening the souls, we're progressing our accounts, we're getting stuff from these side rewards. You're able to now, well, for me at least, I'm now able to come in here and actually have enough of the immortal soul essences as well as the big soul essences to actually start purchasing some actual good champion souls. However, if I never opened those shards, I would be like very, very low on both of these. So while the soul stones themselves may not give me anything I really need, double events may even be, or they'll definitely be better. They're gonna allow me to continue progressing my account. So it really depends on how you are as a player. If you're really stuck on progressing your account and you think Soulstones can make a big difference, on some champions they definitely do, then maybe it is worth it for you to go ahead and go into this event, even if you can't finish the top 1,500, right? This is quite a bit of points, of course. But even if you can't finish this, maybe it's worth it for you to actually open some, maybe pick up a void shard along the way, maybe get lucky and get the legendary tome, or even just some energy and gems is better than opening them, say, during any other time during the week to get nothing. Now, I would say to hold off on for a double point value, 2x event or whatever it may be, but we don't know when that's going to be. You could be holding them for months in the future, and you're really just kind of stalling your account. If you can afford to do that, if your account's in a position where you can afford to, hey, I don't need Soulstones for the next 3 months. Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. Save them, no problem whatsoever. But if you're somebody who is trying to push an arena, you're trying to work on some new champions, maybe you want a 6-star Rotos because you saw some disgusting things that some content creators have done with their Rotos. Well, this is a naked Rotos, but a non-naked Rotos soloing arena teams. Well, yeah, you're going to want to open your shards. You're going to want to try to get that 6-star soul, buy it in the shop, because there's definitely been some champions that I've skipped recently expecting for one of these Souls Chase tournaments to start, and I could have bought those souls at that point, but I didn't have enough resources to actually go ahead and pull the trigger on them because I hadn't been opening my Soulstones. So all that's to say, hopefully you can make the best, most informed decision when it comes to opening these Soulstones. As far as the actual event, I think it's way too much RNG. I think the Mortal Soulstones are valued far too little on the lower end, the chance that you have the highest to actually pull, 66% chance to get a rare and 48% chance to get a rank 1. But even Immortal Soulstones, I mean, you could get, what, 3 points or something? It's crazy. So definitely seeing these have a little bit higher points because that's what you're going to be pulling the most of. Mortal Soulstones are what you can get for free. That's what you're going to be pulling the most of. So really, that's what should be, I don't know, more easily accessible. I think it's a little bit crazy to go 4 months to finally be able to complete these events. It doesn't even take that long to get a guaranteed champion just from Ancient Shards, right? Like you can finish an event, which Ancient Shards are terrible for the Summon Rush events, but you could get a guaranteed champion And I believe far less time than 4 months, but maybe not. I'm not for sure. Either way, I guess it depends on the frequency of these events. But guys, this video has been 15 minutes. That is far too long for this kind of breakdown. So thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below with your thoughts, opinions, or anything else that you have, guys. And with that said, I'll catch you in the next one.